Looks like that press conference is now just getting underway. Outside of the government center, let's listen in on Live Impact News on WCNC+.
To have Border Patrol, as I've already said, I'm not quite sure what border we're patrolling here. Are we patrolling Rock Hill or South Carolina? We don't have borders here in North Carolina that need to be protected. We don't need to be protected from Virginia, Tennessee, nor South Carolina. And people are not joining us in Wilmington. So there's absolutely no reason for us to have ICE, to have Border Patrol here. This is a safe city. Our crime rates have gone down since the previous year. This is just another something out of the playbook. When you look at Washington, D.C., the National Guard was picking up litter. So if they want people here to help us pick up litter, I think we've got that covered as well. We don't need people here to help us clean up our city. We can take care of our city. We can take care of our own. In 2016, when there were protests, we had a Democratic governor, imagine that, and a Democratic mayor. And when they thought that things were too much, they actually called in the National Guard. No one here is called in the National Guard. No one here is called in Border Patrol. We know how to take care of our city. We know how to protect our city, and we simply do not need them here. So next up, we will hear from Representative Jordan Lopez.
Well, thank you, everybody. Good morning. In the interest of brevity, I will try to keep my remarks short. First, thank you to every one of you for being here this morning. Thank you to my colleagues across our local government for being here this morning. For my constituents, for all of our constituents, I just want to say that we see you, we are standing with you, we are here for you. Over the past several days, I've had conversations with community members, with leaders, with neighbors, and each time we talk about this expected enforcement operation from the federal government, and I'm speaking to people across all races, across all backgrounds, across legal statuses, and the common denominator is fear and concern. We've seen what has taken place in other cities across this country when the federal government gets involved. We have seen the undisciplined agents pointing weapons at unarmed civilians, the indiscriminate rounding up of civilians who are sleeping in their homes in the middle of their night in Chicago. We have seen the worst of law enforcement. And as a lawmaker myself, I know laws must be enforced, but the how matters. And whenever you decide that creating the perception of peace through fear tactics, through militarized agents walking down the street, that doesn't feel like a safe or a welcoming community to me. That feels like a prison. And that is not what the people of House District 112 are asking for. That is not what the people of the city of Charlotte are asking for, or the people across Mecklenburg County. We do not want that here. So I stand with our local law enforcement leaders, our executive leaders like Mayor Lyles, who have asked for greater communication from the federal government, because the interest of all of us, I believe, is the safety of our constituents, is the safety of our city. And we want to make sure that everybody knows we are standing with them, and we also want safe cities, but we want to make sure we do it in the right way. So thank each and every one of you all for being here again, and I believe I will be passing this off next to back to Representative Dew. Appreciate you all.
Thank you. We have so many people here to speak. I'm actually going to go to one of our community members who actually came up from Charleston without having to go through Border Patrol, who is representing SEIU.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters. It's a good morning to be here on this chilly morning, but it's an exciting morning to be here. Travel from Charleston. My name is Nisi Brown. I am the union representative for the North Carolina area. I represent the workers here in North Carolina, and I came to stand in solidarity with our politicians, our community leaders, our working families, our children, the entire Charlotte community. I actually want to say that I'm a union leader that believe in making it clear that our priority is to protect our workers, no matter who they are, no matter the color of their skin. It doesn't matter where they came from. Our priority is to protect our workers. Deploying U.S. Custom and Border Control here in Charlotte does not make sense. I'm with you, sister. In our city is an attack on our community, our workers, and our First Amendment. The deployment is a pattern from the administration that target Democratic-led city, especially those led by Black leaders who choose to welcome all of God's children. I don't know about you, but Charlotte is a Bible city. And we believe that we love everybody. All of us are God's children. So no workers should feel fair being in the city of Charlotte, being detained, assaulted, taken by federal agents simply for showing up for work. Amen. We don't need immigration and custom enforcement coming into Charlotte, disrupting our city, creating fear in our city and workplace, trying to divide our community and to make Charlotte a less safe place. What Charlotte needs, we need work, we need affordable housing, affordable health care, wages that we can live off, being able to go to the grocery store and not spend our entire check. That's what we need in Charlotte. Our community thrives on standing and sharing our values of freedom, opportunity, and dignity for everyone. But one thing I read, because I'm a Bible girl, I read in Psalms 29:2, and it says that whenever there is a good leader, the people rejoice. But whenever there's a wicked leader, the people groan. And I don't know about you, but we're at that point that we're groaning now because who is in leadership? There has to be something done. So immigrant workers enrich our community, help drive our nation forward. They support our family, contribute to everyday work in the city, and deserve to be safe in their workplace and their home. Let me be clear. We will not be divided by immigration status, by fear. We're going to stand together with our neighbors, with our sisters, and our brothers, because I do believe that when we fight together, when we stand together, we will win this fight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will have Senator Caleb Tedros.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Caleb Tedros. I represent some of you all in the state senate. We're in my district right now. The past week have shown us, what a way to govern, where we have had community members, elected officials, even reporters on these fact-finding missions just to find out whether a federal force is coming into the city of Charlotte. The number one word you're all going to hear in the next few months when it's time to campaign is going to be transparency. What part of this governing has been transparent? What part of this entire process has been fully shown so that community members know what's going on? And I understand what these community members are going through. Myself, I'm from an immigrant family. My family is originally from East Africa. So outside of dealing with the constant plight in this country of an affordability crisis, outside of the anxiety of not having somewhere where you can afford to live, you now have to have an anxiety about a federal force coming into Charlotte and you not knowing what they're going to do, you not knowing what's going to take place. The only thing you have to go off of is Twitter announcements and rumors about what's going to happen in Charlotte. That is not an effective way to govern. It doesn't take a president to know that. Excuse me. And we've seen that here even at the local level. In North Carolina State Senate and House of Representatives, where we still don't have a budget. The only state in the United States of America with no budget. And of course, to take attention away from this, you have authoritarian, you have sort of these political fiascos to take attention away from that. The fact that we don't have a budget, the fact that people's health care is doubling and tripling. So what do? You have fiascos like this, you have political theater, and you have constant and new anxiety you're introducing to the public. Folks in Charlotte are not going to be made safe by this. If you care about actual safety, you care about fully funding our police officers. You care about additional money spent on mental health resources. You care about additional resources for our public safety programs. That's how you push back against public safety. That's how you help folks. You pass a budget, you help folks with health care. You don't rely on sort of fear tactics and lack of information to hit folks at the local level. And that's what you see folks are fighting against. It's the lack of transparency, the lack of everything you all are going to hear on the campaign trail in the next few months when these people come out and talk about the great job or their lack of. And so I want to thank you all. I want to thank the speakers here and community members. It takes a lot of courage to come out here and speak your truth And that's something that the city of Charlotte and the state of North Carolina is going to continue to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will have Cameron Pruitt, who is with us from the Freedom Center for Social Justice.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. You know, we are 14 days into the month of November, 2 weeks from Thanksgiving, and folks still don't have their SNAP benefits. We are sitting in a city where people are planning and trying to gather together to put a turkey on the table, to bring their family members, asking them to come home and travel and be with them. But now this weekend, we have to worry if families are going to be separated and torn apart. And so as a Christian, I pray that everyone looks into their hearts and asks, what would you do if this was your family? What steps would you take? What would you donate? What would you volunteer? How loud would you yell in the streets? And so I'm asking you to do that, to stand with the Carolina Migrant Network, to shop at immigrant-owned businesses. Charlotte East has a full list. And to peacefully and prayerfully and with moral clarity take action in this moment. You have heard from speakers, this will not make our people safe. This is not a targeted action. We have seen Border Patrol use helicopters on civilian buildings and not apologize. This is not about legal status. This is about the color of someone's skin, about where they come from, and about causing fear and division. So I ask everyone, take action, stand together, take action, stand together, pray, and we will get through this. Thank you.
Next, we will have Jonelle Coswell, who was a part of the chair for the International Cabinet, also worked with International House, and is also an immigrant herself.
Thank you, Representative Dew. I don't know, maybe this isn't working. Hello, everybody, and good morning. This is a very, very dire time that we're gathering here today. I'm a proud immigrant, I'm a proud Jamaican American, and I have been a part of this community for over a decade. The immigrant community in Charlotte is vibrant, productive, and contributes over $1 billion of spending revenue each year to this community. Immigrants not only bring their culture and diversity, but we help to make this community prosperous and a healthy economic ecosystem. I have recently been grieving the loss of a very, very dear friend. And I can only imagine that this kind of grief, this kind of sorrow is only, I can't even describe what families must go through when they come home to find family members gone, missing. It is one thing if you are going after criminals. It is one thing if you're going after people who have broken the law. To take someone with no due process, this is not democratic, this is not American, and this is not Charlotte, and this is not this country. Now, our community is strong, and it is made stronger by the presence of immigrants and the international community. Amen. We need to stand together, and we need to protect our community members, because they do not come here to rob, do not come here to steal. They come here for a better life and to make this community better by working hard and participating and volunteering, just like myself. We need to stand together, and we need to protect our community members, and we have to say, no, this cannot happen, and we need to defend our democracy and make sure that there is due process. Thank you so much.
Hello, hello, hello. All right, well, we won't worry about it. I think we're all loud. All right, so next we have Council Member-elect J.D. Lasuaro Arias. And I probably butchered it, I'm very sorry.
Good morning. My colleagues will have to forgive me because I can talk a lot. And I have to say things in English and in Spanish. because this is personal. I know what fear feels like. I know what it feels like to have it in your bones. The kind that makes you hold your breath when somebody knocks the door, and the kind that parents feel when they just hope to come back home to their children at night. That fear is not distant to me. It's a part of who I am. I grew up undocumented in Charlotte, in the neighborhoods that so many immigrant families call home. And today I stand before you as not only the first Latino, but the first formerly undocumented member of the City Council. Yesterday, the Sheriff's Office confirmed that CBP will be in our city. However, no transparency, no accountability, no explanation, not to my colleagues behind me, not to the public, not to the families who deserve to know what's happening in their own city. Let me say this clearly. This is not about public safety. It is not about finding criminals. It is about fear, it is about quotas, and it's about control. When federal agents enter our communities without warning, without cause, and without humanity, they are not keeping us safe. They are terrorizing our neighborhoods. And we do not welcome our communities being terrorized and attacked. Our Queen City will not become a staging ground for fear. Amen. We will not confuse cruelty with safety, and we will not allow the politics of intimidation to define who belongs here. We saw this before in Chicago, where federal actions left families broken and trust shattered, and we will not allow Charlotte to follow that same path. CBP is not the same as ICE, but both agencies have operated without transparency, without oversight, and too often without humanity. Let's be clear, the CMPD is not participating, has not been asked to assist, and has no authority to intervene. But that does not mean we are powerless. We must act, we must use every tool within our moral and civic power to protect our residents, and we must make it clear that no city property, no local resources, and no taxpayer dollars will ever be used to help carry out these operations that terrorize our people. Amen. Charlotte's immigrant story is a global one, from Colombia and Mexico, to the Congo and Ethiopia, to Vietnam and Nepal, to Ukraine and Albania. When you attack one of us, you attack all of us. When you criminalize migration, you criminalize humanity. We must lead with courage, we must move with urgency, and we must protect every person who calls this city home. We will not wait for permission to do what's right. We will not stay silent while fear spreads, and we will not let federal agencies decide who belongs in our city. And to our immigrant neighbors, you are not alone, you are seen, you are valued, and you belong here. Charlotte's strength has never come from fear. It has come from faith in one another, from the courage of those who built this city with their hands, and from the love that binds us together. We do not welcome terror, we do not consent to cruelty, and we will not let fear define who we are, not in Charlotte, not in our Queen City, not on our watch. Buenos días. Esto es personal. Yo sé lo que se siente el miedo. Ese miedo que se siente en los huesos. El que te hace contener la respiración cuando tocan la puerta. El que no deja dormir a los padres temiendo no regresar a la casa al final del día. Ese miedo no es ajeno, es parte de mi historia. Crecí indocumentado acá en esta ciudad, en los mismos vecindarios donde hoy viven tantas familias inmigrantes. Y hoy estoy aquí como el primer latino y el primer inmigrante anteriormente indocumentado elegido al Consejo Municipal de la ciudad. Ayer, la oficina del Sheriff Gary McFadden confirmó que agentes de la protección fronteriza llegarán a Charlotte este fin de semana o la otra, sin transparencia, sin cuentas, sin explicación. Ni a los funcionarios locales, ni al público, ni a las familias merecen saber qué está pasando en su ciudad. Y quiero decir algo con mucha claridad. Esto no se trata de la seguridad pública, no se trata de criminales, no se trata de miedo Se trata de miedo, de cuotas y de control. Cuando agentes federales entran a nuestras comunidades sin aviso, sin causa, sin humanidad, no están protegiendo, están aterrorizando. Y no aceptamos que nuestras comunidades sean atacadas. Nuestra ciudad reina no será un escenario para el miedo y no vamos a confundir la crueldad con la seguridad, ni vamos a permitir que la política del terror defina quién pertenezca acá. El Departamento de Policía de Charlotte-Mecklenburg no tiene jurisdicción en estas operaciones. No participa, no puede intervenir y no se le ha pedido a colaborar. Pero eso no significa que no nos quedamos con los brazos cruzados. Debemos actuar, debemos usar cada herramienta moral y cívica para proteger a nuestra gente. Debemos dejar claro que ningún recurso, propiedad o dinero de los ciudadanos se usará para causar miedo o separar las familias. Porque esto no solo es un asunto latino, es un asunto humano. La historia inmigrante de esta ciudad viene de todas partes, de Colombia a México, del Congo y Etiopía, de Vietnam y Nepal, de Ucrania y Albania. Cuando atacan a uno de nosotros, nos atacan a todos. Cuando criminalizan la migración, criminalizan a los humanos. A mis colegas en todo el condado de Mecklenburg, debemos lidiar con valentía, debemos movernos con urgencia y debemos proteger a todas las personas que llaman a esta ciudad su hogar. Y nosotros, a los vecinos inmigrantes, no están solos, los vemos, los valoramos y pertenecen aquí. La fuerza de Charlotte no viene del miedo, viene de la fe en los demás, de la valentía de quienes construyeron a esta ciudad con sus manos y el amor que nos damos. No damos bienvenida al terror, no consentimos la crueldad y no dejamos que el miedo defina quiénes somos nosotros. No en Charlotte, no en nuestra reina ciudad, no bajo nuestra mirada. Gracias.
Thank you. Next, we have County Commissioner Susan Rodriguez McDowell.
Buenos dias. I am Mecklenburg County Commissioner Susan Rodriguez McDowell. I, like so many of us, am the granddaughter of immigrants and also the wife of an immigrant. I am proud to be the first Latina elected to the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners, and I am darn sure I will not be the last. Latinos and other immigrants are here to stay, and thank goodness for that. Contrary to the current narrative in DC, we know that immigrants who come to the U.S. with or without authorization have lower rates of crime than native-born citizens, higher rates of entrepreneurship, and enrich our nation economically, socially, and culturally. But unfortunately, we are living in the strangest of times, a time when a felonious reality TV personality is occupying the White House. Unfortunately, we have seen this movie before, and now they want to film an episode of Shock and Awe show here in our city. We have seen the reports of masked men rappelling out of helicopters in the middle of the and intimidate. We have seen the reports of men, women, and children who are traumatized by these un-American tactics. And we know that collateral damage is not only expected, it's encouraged. We know that these agents are not engaging in targeted actions meant to capture violent criminals. They are going for numbers, and it doesn't matter who gets in their way. They're being paid huge sign-on bonuses to do this work. It's a performance meant to destroy and shatter families. Well, let's not fall into the trap, Charlotte. Let's not give them what they want. We must always remain peaceful, and we must know and exercise our rights. We must prioritize safety and dignity over performance. Record their actions from a safe distance. Take notes if you're a witness to harsh treatment. The 5th and 14th Amendments mandate that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. A protection extended to every human being on American soil. Yes, you heard that right. The Constitution applies to all persons within the United States, whether their presence here is lawful, temporary, or permanent. It is the legal and moral responsibility of all authorities, and indeed all of us, to treat immigrants with dignity and justice. Whatever occurs in the coming days, we must meet the moment peacefully, reduce panic, and remember that due process will be back. There will come a time when this regime ends and justice and due process will become the order of the day again. Luckily, we have multiple trusted nonprofits who are mobilizing with assistance for those who may be impacted. Let us support by donating or volunteering with the Latin American Coalición, the Carolina Migrant Network, Comunidad Colectiva, Action NC, International House, Our Bridge for Kids, the Hispanic Federation, and others. Let us make sure to support and frequent our immigrant-owned small businesses like restaurants, tiendas, salons, and others. Let this episode motivate all of us to work harder to drive out those in power who are not serving the people, but instead are profiting off of this performance. If they can pay $30,000 bonuses to recruit agents for their shock and awe show, surely we can elect leaders who will find a way to recruit and pay teachers and child care workers to do the important, critical work of our nation. I look forward to a time when the immigration process is depoliticized and fair immigration reforms can be undertaken to create the kind of justice system we can all be proud of and that aligns with our true American values. Thank you.
Next, we will have the president of the NAACP, Charlotte Mecklenburg, Corinne Mack.
Good morning. I first want to start with reminding everyone within the sound of our voices that it was immigrants who built this country. Africans who were enslaved, who had no opportunity for freedom or even freedom of thought, were in fact immigrants. Now, we're talking about immigration as if it's something over there or over there. But the harm to every immigrant is harm to every one of us. In this country, we want to believe that the Constitution has protected us all, and in fact it has not. But that doesn't mean that we can't work to ensure that it does. In the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area, there are people standing behind me who have committed to ensure we are going to protect the people of this residence. We hope that includes all of you. From 2016 to 2020, I would go to hearings to stop deportations. And in those hearings, there'd be no one there but myself and maybe two other people. So this is not a new concept. This is a more egregious concept. We have a little man sitting in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue who really believes that Hitler was the greatest man ever on earth, whose whole vision is to be just like Hitler, and is trying to create a 1940s Germany right here in the United States. And like then, many people said, well, it's them, it's not me, until eventually it was them. We can no longer be silent. Our responsibility is to understand our responsibility as a human being. Yes. To care, to be considerate, to be passionate, to be loving towards one another. We're talking about human beings. When we say immigration or immigrants, we're talking about human beings, men, women, and children, yes, who are walking in this city who are working in this city, who is being educated in this city in fear. No person should have to live under the dark cloud of fear, especially when all you want is to live the American dream, which has now become a nightmare. I am asking each and every one of you to take part in elevating the lives of every resident of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area. If you have any sense of your own humanity, understand we are only as great as how we treat the other person. Love must be the foundation of who we are and how we move. I remember when this conversation first started about 4 years ago, openly and publicly. It was the Latino community that was the face of immigration. And sadly, it's the Latino community that is being directly affected in larger numbers. But there are Africans and Haitians and Jamaicans and all people of many different hues, some more melanated than others, who are also living in fear. Right. We can no longer be in silos. It can't be about one group. It has to be about all of us. About our humanity. Who are we? What will be our story? What legacy will we be leaving for our children? Now, I know many of you care. Many of you are also afraid. But I'm asking you to step past your fear. Stand up. Speak up. Embrace this movement to ensure that every one of us have a better quality of life. Every one of us can live our dream, whatever that dream may be. Amen. Again, love must be the foundation. And God's perfect love casts out all fear. God bless you.
We will now have Hector Vaca from Action NC.
Good morning. Buenos días a todos. I'm not just here as a part of Action NC. I'm also here as the child of migrants, Puerto Rican mother, Ecuadorian father. I'm here as the son of a man who in 2009 took his life because of our immigration system. It is not a broken immigration system. It is designed to function this way and hurt the immigrant community. I'm here as that. I'm also here as someone who, in the past, has been affected by CBP and immigration tactics, including being stopped at the airport by CBP and having to prove my US citizenship, and being made by ICE to strip off my clothing as a US citizen to show that I don't have any tattoos. We're here today to address the upcoming invasion of an extremist group that is coming to Charlotte as part of the current regime's racist campaign of terror. I'm talking, in this case, about the Border Patrol. They're coming to do what we have seen them do all over the country already. The kidnapping of children and the disappearing of hardworking mothers and fathers and grandfathers and grandmothers. In many cases, US citizens. Over 70% of people being disappeared right now by this current regime have no criminal convictions. That is to say that hardworking people who follow the law and contribute to our community are being taken from their families. Their tactics are brutal. Children are being kidnapped on their way to school or walking down the street or from their own homes. Parents are being taken and disappeared from work while paying bills, driving to work, or taking their children to and from school. In many cases, while people were respecting the law and showing up for their asylum and other immigration-related court hearings, we have seen our elders thrown to the ground by the Border Patrol and ICE agents. Most recently, a man was shot by them while asking them to please move down the street because school buses were going to be arriving at that intersection. If you look at any dictionary for the definition of terrorism, it boils down to any action that seeks to terrorize a population in pursuit of a social, economic, or political agenda. By this definition, what they are doing can only be described as acts of terrorism. Let us be clear, CBP and ICE tactics are not based in the US Constitution and the rule of law. They have their roots in xenophobia, racism, and persecution of people and families fleeing violence and poverty in search of the same American dream that we all seek. The community thanks our elected officials for stepping up and speaking out like leaders and champions against these injustices. We, the community, look forward to working with them as they continue to step up like true leaders and champions and enact policies that will protect our community from these abuses, including enacting policies to punish any law enforcement officer who violates the law or the Constitution. Congratulations to the new police chief. She has stepped into a new leadership role with the potential to enact real change. It is our hope that she will show the courage that her predecessors lacked and will continue holding law enforcement, will commit to holding law enforcement accountable when it hurts our community, including adopting a written policy of no collaboration with ICE and CBP. We call on the city manager as the chief of the chief to make this happen. Thank you to the sheriff for pulling out of the 287G program and committing to not collaborating with policies and agencies that profile and target our loved ones. We need you to hold strong and not break. Principles and doing the right thing should take precedence over unjust policies rooted in hatred. Thank you to CMS for doing all it can to protect our children. We, the community, look forward to working with CMS to take it further and not just allow ICE on the properties, but working with CMS to ensure that nonprofits are allowed to work with the students and the parents and the teachers and staff and teach them what their rights are and how to interact with law enforcement to continue protecting the children. We need that to happen. The community, and I will end it with the community. We're stronger when we're together. As my beautiful friend Corinne just said a few minutes ago, we need to have courage. We need to step up together. If you see something, record it, report it. If you see something, see anybody being hurt in your community, step up and say something. Because only together can we make a difference. Only together can we continue having our champions take it to the next step and be the leaders and the champions that we all know they can be, that we believe that they can be. Because once again, we are stronger when we're together. Now, I'll give a brief version of this for the Spanish language media. Hola, soy Héctor Vaca. Soy hijo de inmigrantes, mamá puertorriqueña, papá ecuatoriano. Pero también estoy aquí porque yo he sido afectado por la manera que ICE y CBP funcionan. Yo he tenido que mostrar la prueba que yo soy ciudadano a la patrulla fronteriza cuando me hicieron mostrarle mi ciudadanía. El ICE me ha hecho a mí quitarme la ropa para mostrar que yo no llevo tatuajes. Estamos aquí para hablar sobre el ataque a nuestra comunidad, que es parte de la campaña de terror del régimen actual. Vienen aquí para lo que estoy hablando de la fuerza fronteriza. Vienen aquí para hacer lo que están haciendo en otras partes del país, secuestrando niños, desapareciendo padres y madres y abuelos, y en muchos casos estadounidenses. Más del 70% de la gente que se están llevando no tienen ningún antecedente criminal. Muchas de las veces son ciudadanos de este país. Gente que está contribuyendo. Las tácticas que están haciendo están llevándose, secuestrando niños en camino a la escuela. Padres y abuelos se están desapareciendo en camino al trabajo, a pagar sus cuentas. o llevando o trayendo a los niños a la escuela. En muchos casos, gente respetando las leyes de este país, el camino o saliendo de las cortes para sus casos de inmigración. Entonces, si miran cualquier diccionario de la definición de terrorismo, al final es esto: cualquier táctica o acción que trata de aterrorizar a una población buscando fines económicos, sociales o políticos. Entonces, por esa definición, lo que están haciendo es terrorismo. Tenemos que estar claros, lo que están haciendo es brutal, atacando a nuestra comunidad. Les damos las gracias a las personas elegidas por ser líderes, campeones, protegiendo a la comunidad. Nosotros, la comunidad, estamos listos para trabajar con los funcionarios políticos para enactar leyes políticas que van a proteger a nuestra comunidad, especialmente arrestando agentes del orden quienes violan la ley y la Constitución y atacan a nuestra comunidad. Felicitamos a la nueva jefa de la policía por su nuevo cargo y esperamos que tenga el coraje que los otros policías jefes antes de ella no tuvieron y que enacte una política de no colaboración con ICE ni la patrulla fronteriza. Le damos las gracias al alguacil, al sheriff, por cortar la 287G y decidir no trabajar con estas personas atacando en esta comunidad. Queremos que siga con eso, porque al final, principios y hacer lo correcto es más importante que cualquier ley racista que ataca a nuestra comunidad. Le damos las gracias a CMS por comprometerse a apoyar a la comunidad, a los niños. Ahora queremos que sigan más adelante de eso. Estamos listos en la comunidad para trabajar con ellos mientras adoptan más reglas que van a permitir que las agencias locales sin fines de lucro puedan trabajar con ellos para educar a los padres, los maestros y a los niños sobre sus derechos y qué pueden hacer para protegerse. Final, la comunidad. Solo unidos podemos ganar. Es tiempo que nos unamos, que alcemos la voz. Si vemos algo, repórtenlo. Si ven que alguien está siendo atacado, proteja a esa persona. Grave, diga algo porque tenemos que abrir la boca. Hay que abrir la boca para ser escuchado. Unidos podemos ganar. Gracias.
Next, we will have up CMS board member Liz Monterey Duval.
Hola, bueno, iba a decir buenos días, pero no hay ningún día bueno hoy con lo que está pasando. Mi gente latina, mi gente inmigrante, me da mucha pena estar aquí hablando de esta tragedia, lo que está pasando. Nuestra comunidad tiene miedo, nuestra comunidad inocente. La gente latina, la gente inmigrante, somos gente que trabaja, que somos luchadores, que rezamos, que amamos, que traemos la cultura y el amor a esta ciudad. Y tenemos miedo. Si manejas por Central Avenue está vacío, no hay nadie. Los tiendas, todo, porque tienen miedo. Los estudiantes, los padres tienen miedo. Yo tengo miedo. Y bueno, primero le voy a suplicar, le voy a rogar y por favor a ICE y a Law Enforcement que por favor no conduzcan sus operaciones cerca de nuestras escuelas. Los niños se van a traumatizar y los niños no tienen que ver eso. Yo soy hija de inmigrante. Yo he visto inmigración arrestar a gente cerca de mí, familiares, y les voy a decir que es algo que, como dijo JD, es algo que sientes en tus huesos. Y bueno, Juan Luis Guerra es un cantador de la República Dominicana y él tenía una canción que decía: Jesús me dijo que me riera si los enemigos me tientan en la carrera. Y también me dijo que no me mortifique, porque yo le envío mis avispas para que los piquen. Y estas son las avispas, la comunidad, la gente, los líderes que están atrás de ustedes. Porque la administración que está en Washington, D.C., ellos no nos importan a nosotros, lo vemos. Y nosotros, los latinos votaron por esto y los engañaron. Los engañaron y me da mucha lástima. Pero siempre están bienvenidos aquí, siempre están bienvenidos en nuestra casa. Y yo soy residente de East Side y les quiero decir que yo estoy con ustedes. Si los padres tienen miedo, por favor mándenme un correo, lo podemos conectar con recursos. CMS es para todos los estudiantes. ¡Es la ley! Muchas gracias, mi gente, los quiero mucho. Síganme en Instagram, en Facebook, Monterrey for CMS. Yo voy a distribuir la información más al tanto que exista. Y nada, muchas gracias y los quiero mucho. Hasta luego.